Hello, Society members and our viewers from around the world. My name is Charles Knippen. I'm the president of the National Society of Leadership and Success, and I'm happy to be hosting another Thought Leader Series episode with you today. During this series, we sit down with thought leaders from around the world to learn their stories, but to also give them an opportunity to share their tips for success. And our leader joining us today started her career as a criminal attorney in 1979, and in 1981, she joined the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office, overseeing several high-profile cases, including the O.J. Simpson trial. At that point, she began a new career in her life as a best-selling author and as a frequent contributor to national television shows, including CNN, MSNBC, Today, Good Morning America, and as a legal correspondent for Entertainment Tonight. I'm very happy to be welcoming Ms. Marcia Clark.
Hi.
Marcia, thank you for being here with us today. Marcia, as I mentioned in the Thought Leaders series, the most important part is getting your story out, because we have leaders from around the world who are just starting their journey. But with all the accomplishments that you've had in your life, I'd like to ask you to go back to that time when you were a student and to kind of walk us through that journey, your professional journey from being a student to where you are today, a couple of the major milestones and things that were important to you in navigating to where you are.
It's a bumpy, kind of very non-linear road. and maybe it's maybe a really good thing to say, because my younger son, he's now 24, but when he was in college, he was really freaked out about what am I going to be, and I'm going to choose a career path, and then what if I don't like it? You know, what if I have to change? And the thing that I would tell him, as I would say to all of your members of the society, don't worry about that. Change is good. Change is inevitable. So here's the example, my life. So I started out when I was a kid, really being addicted to crime. That's one thing that never changed. And I mean 4 or 5 years old, addicted to crime. It was crazy, yeah, it's not good. Anyway, but I loved crime fiction, I loved reading it, I loved Nancy Drew, and I wanted to write crime fiction at one time. And then I thought I would be an actress for a while. That was through my teen years. When I got into college, I realized that that might not be the best way to earn a living, or I mean, a certain way of earning a living, and I like to live indoors. So I changed my mind and decided to become a poli-sci major, and thought I would like to work in the Foreign Office in the State Department. At that time, I spoke a few languages, and I thought, you know, that would be a great career. So I specialized in international relations and focused on the Middle East. But when I graduated and applied to the State Department, they were not keen on having females in the field. They asked if I could type. So much for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to think about what else do I want to do, and I just did a variety of odd jobs for about a year while I kind of tried to figure out what I wanted to be, and then decided I'd go to law school. And so from the very beginning of law school, I knew that my specialization was going to be criminal law. That, not a shock, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I started out as a criminal defense lawyer, and I had no intention, none, of working for the man. Yeah, no, I was going to be a defense lawyer, and that's so I clerked for 2 years, and then I worked for 2 years as an associate, and ultimately decided to become a prosecutor when I started handling violent crime. It was one thing to defend, you know, when I was handling dope cases and that kind of thing, prostitution cases, but when it came to handling murder cases, that's when I thought, you know, I really want to take care of the victims. So I became a prosecutor. And I really loved it, and I thought I was going to be a prosecutor. I thought they were going to carry me out in a pine box. That was my plan. And it did not work out that way. So after the trial, the day of the verdict, I walked out of the courthouse and I never went back. And I had lost faith. I couldn't, you know, I had seen too much that was ugly and untenable, and I just, I guess you could say I lost my belief, I lost my faith, and I just couldn't do it anymore.